before Capitol Hill today, it was a surprising moment. A group of Republicans staging a public protest of another closed-door deposition linked to the Democrats' impeachment inquiry by forcing their way in, shutting the whole thing down. Selective leaks from the hearings helping to feed a media narrative of bombshells and game changers, as the Democrats and many in the media are calling them, even as Republicans inside the hearings say those characterizations are wildly overblown, but they're fearful of facing ethics charges if they say anything more in an effort to counter the leaks. Joining us now to help process all this issue with process, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General Harry Litman and former independent counsel Ken Starr. Great to have you both with us, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're getting reports from inside a private lunch with the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell talking with GOP senators saying, listen, you can go out there and talk about places that you disagree with the president on issues, but let's not do that on process. He says this, at least a piece in the Hill quotes. A Republican senator who spoke on condition of anonymity said McConnell gave his colleagues leeway to express opposition to various Trump actions, such as pulling U.S. troops out of northern Syria, but urged them to stick together on process. Judge, what do you make of the argument that House Republicans were trying to make on process today by walking into this hearing?
Right. Well, we had an act of civil disobedience, and I think it may be the first time in House history, certainly in a very long time. And I think we have a constitutional train wreck coming, and it all could be avoided. It still could be avoided if we would follow the right order of proceedings, and that is, let's have an open hearing, but first of all, let's have a vote, Shannon, on the House of Representatives floor. It's the way the tradition has been. Constitutional tradition should, in fact, be honored. But we're beyond that now. I wish we could walk that back. We can still walk that back. But above all, open these hearings. I think this is quite evil and pernicious to have the battling narratives of what happened inside closed doors when there's no classified information.
Well, it sounds like House Speaker Nancy Pelosi does not intend to have a hearing for a number of reasons on the House floor, or not a vote. They're going to continue to proceed with the way that they're putting things together for now. Here are a number of Republicans who took part in this event today, civil disobedience, as you called it, Judge, explaining why they've gotten to this point. And then, Harry, we'll get your response.
Behind those doors, they intend to overturn the results of an American presidential election. What is Adam Schiff trying to hide?
What is happening here is not fair.
There is no reason this should be down in a tiny room, within a skiff at the basement of the Capitol. That's so Adam Schiff can control the narrative, can drive polling, and can get the vote that he wants, which is to impeach the president.
So, Harry, why not open this all up, expose the story, whatever it is out there, and take those arguments away from the Republicans?
Right. So a couple reasons. First, I don't want to rebut the judge, but it's actually my understanding that there is classified information they're dealing with in the skiff. And in fact, the people who came in today, it's not trivial at all. They came in with cell phones and had a security violation. But I'm a little puzzled by the charge, because to me, this is very much the analog of the judge's investigation prior to the Clinton impeachment. And it's typical for impeachment. This part of it, the decision whether to go ahead, is considered like a grand jury proceeding. Those are always secret. There's no due process. Then once you come forward, of course, there's all kinds of ability for the president or the official to answer. And why? Well, I think all the proceedings to date have really not been very commendable in terms of the truth-seeking function. They have degenerated into circuses. But a very important point to make: Republicans are absolutely free to come in if they're members of the committee. It's just if they're not. So the claim here is sort of like somebody who wants to wander in to, say, a Supreme Court confirmation proceeding who's not on the Judiciary Committee. It's a committee proceeding for now, and that's impeccable under Supreme Court precedent.
Okay, and Judge, what do you make of, because I continue to hear that this is the right comparison is a grand jury proceeding, which happens in secret. Is that the right comparison for what we're seeing now?
No, because this is an impeachment proceeding by the House of Representatives. And Harry full well knows he's a very able lawyer. A special counsel and an independent counsel are officers of the executive branch. They are focusing on whether crimes have committed and whether indictments should be returned, or whether there should be a referral to the House of Representatives. This is an elected official, Adam Schiff. He's not a prosecutor. He's styling himself that way, but he is a member of the People's House doing the House's business, and the House's business should be open to the public. And Harry also well knows that if there's classified information, you close that part of the hearing. You don't simply have this entire secret process, which I think is very ill-founded, and we're headed for a constitutional train wreck. We're already hearing warnings from the Senate. This will be dead on arrival because of process violations.
Okay, I want to very quickly put up a timeline here that says, that shows impeachment process for the lengths of Nixon, Clinton, and where we are now with President Trump. The Watergate break-in, it was 599 days until they got to the initial inquiry. Clinton, it says, from reports of the affair, it was 260 days until they got to the inquiry. This time around, from the report about the whistleblower, it's been 11 days till we got to this point. Harry, quick final comment from you.
Yeah, I mean, that is quite quick. Look, my understanding is Schiff wants to bring these witnesses forward and have an open hearing eventually. But again, it just seems pedestrian that they would in the first instance speak to the committee. Happens all the time. There's no set rules in the Supreme Court setting, but the Supreme Court has explicitly said this is okay in the Walter Nixon case.
All right, Harry Litman, Judge Starr, good to have you both. Come back soon.
Thank you, Judge. Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.